Hello, Infinite Creators. Do you feel like you're losing time or feel crazy when objects disappear when you know you placed it in a specific location? I know I do. In this video, you're going to see my higher self talk about all of these things. Welcome back, Infinite Creators. And if this is your first time here, I'm Ariana, and I'm a hypnotherapist and past life regressionist, and I help you dive deep into the powers of your mind to expand your consciousness and achieve self-prosperity. Now, in the past, I've shown you clips of other people, but in this series, you're going to see something a little different. This time, I go under hypnosis and have you listen to my higher self speak on different topics. So in this video, you will see Heather conduct hypnosis on me. And if you're not familiar with Heather, check out my last video, which I will link in the description below, along with her channel. Also, if you are curious to hear about my past life regression with her about life aboard a ship, I'll link that too. Now, we start the clip with me wanting to know if I'm listening to my higher self enough. Then we move into the dimensional shifts that causes what I consider to be blips or glitches in the matrix. And then we speak about always waking up at 3 a.m., which happens to me a lot, and I'm sure it happens to most of you too. I've put a timestamp in the description below if you want to jump ahead to specific parts of the video that you find more interesting. So now let's get right into the clip.
You know, is she one thing she wants to know is she listening to you and your guidance enough?
She is. She can hear us. She's a thought being. So she could hear us through, she calls them brain downloads. That's what she calls them. So that's how she hears us. It's the instant thought that comes to her head. And it's funny because it's like she has two voices in her head, her conscious self and us, which is, I guess, you would call unconscious, but not really. But yeah, we communicate with her often, and she sees the signs that we send her in physical terms also. And she starts to laugh. And she says, I know, right?
Was one of those signs like moving the cup that she was looking for instance? Is that you?
So sometimes we like to play and kind of joke with her, kind of like she does with us.
Yeah.
And move things around. We tell her you're not crazy. But sometimes both she and I, which is technically she, sense of humor raises your vibration pretty fast.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling low, that's when that's important. So, on occasion, we'll kind of do humorous things like that with her. She's not going crazy.
So she shouldn't be afraid of those things.
No. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's not. And the times that it's not us, it's the energies of the earth causing shifts in your brain to change your perspective. And when you change your perspective, you can see things differently. So things kind of sort of disappear accidentally in that sense. Yeah. She asked, like the water bug in the kitchen? Yes, the water bug was a shift. That wasn't us. The water bottle was us.
So perspective is pretty important, like to kind of monitor what your perspective is at any given time and understand that it can change Do I have that right?
Mm-hmm. And it teaches you.
Yeah.
It also teaches you to change your perspective.
Absolutely.
Not many people can, well, let me put it this way. A lot of people that you consider crazy in your society are not crazy. They are just shifting.
Yeah. Okay. Their energy is shifting, you mean?
Both energy and consciousness. It's just, it's turbulence in the mind and the body.
So, kind of related to a shifting perspective, she said she's kind of been losing a sense of time, like having trouble keeping track of it. So, what is that? What's causing that?
Time is not what you perceive it to be. Time is simply to keep you on track for certain things. But it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not set in stone. Time can always change, and things are always changing drastically in all sorts of measurements and increments of time. So, like we said earlier, that the energies of the earth right now are helping people, including her, to shift perspective on things, including time. Time is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get too hung up on Monday, Tuesday, or time like 2 p.m. or things like that. Just flow.
Okay. So that can be a little challenging sometimes here, in the physical world. Is there anything else that she can do to get a better handle on that? Or is it just strictly just all in her consciousness, all in her perception and letting go and going with the flow?
She doesn't have to handle anything. It's all taken care of. She's put in the work, so just sit back and relax. You'll get up in divine timing. If you need, I'll wake you up. Or things will just align how they're supposed to align. But yeah, just trust in the guidance of your self-time.
Yeah.
I know that's a difficult concept to understand as a human, and maybe as a three-dimensional being, as you guys call it, even though that doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's a tough concept to understand from your vantage point. But we got you.
Okay. Okay. So here are some questions about some sort of like paranormal type experiences that she's had. So, tangibly speaking, why does she, or just people in general, wake up at around 3 a.m.? Is there a significance of that? Is there a meaning attached to it?
It's tied in to the frequencies of the earth and the shifts. Those shifts shift your perspective and your perspective on time. So it's like the turbulence that we were talking about. It kind of disrupts your normal pattern. And in a sense, that's what it's meant to do, to disrupt your everyday routines. Just look at something differently than you would have before. So If you're waking up at 3 a.m., it's because the energies of the earth and your energy combined are waking you up at that time. But that's just a synchronicity that it's 3 a.m. for everyone. Time is an illusion. So it really doesn't matter what time it is.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Okay. I think just 2 more questions here about sort of her, the one about time. I think we've already, kind of talked about that, but I'll go ahead and ask it anyway in case there's different information that you can give us. So why does time seem like it's going by so fast now?
It's all perception.
Mm-hmm.
You can slow it down if you want to. You have to enjoy the now and be in the now, because now is all that matters.
So having greater consciousness, does that correlate with time seeming like it goes by quicker?
Yes and no. No, in the sense that time flies when you're having fun. So as you're learning and growing your consciousness and expanding, it speeds up because you're having a great time having all of this new information.
Yeah, so even if there are experiences that don't seem fun per se, like how we would define as fun, it's fun at a higher level, right? Because we're all, our task for being here is to have experiences and learn and grow and help other people. So I get that. That makes sense to me. Yeah, awesome.
And when you're having a tough time, it seems to drag.
Yeah.
But you can switch the perception. You can slow it down with your mind by just taking it all in and just being.
Okay.
Now, after watching this video, I wanted to give you a visual representation of perception shifts in the mind. So let's say this object here is your life. When you switch perspective like this, you can see it from multiple views and see life with a different understanding. Things from different angles may not always appear how you thought. I hope this visual representation helped you understand it a little bit better. It's my daughter's baby block. So stay tuned to my next video where I talk about ringing in the ears and a message to my viewers. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive alerts for my upcoming videos. And until next time, Infinite Creators, wishing you all abundance, love, and prosperity.